Hi, welcome to Mary's Math Club.
Square root has been used from ancient time in Babylon, Greece, India, Egypt and couple of other places of the world also. But most probably first it was presented by Heron in Alexandria of Greece. To do square root, we can do it in two process. Means to find out the square root of any number, we can follow two process, either factorization or division method. To do it, first we will here do factorization method for whole number, and then we will do the factorization process but for the fractional number. So let's start with an example. When we are saying that square root of a number, means we write suppose the number is 9, then suppose the number is 49, and then what we wrote, that square root of 49 is equal to, we write that this sign is the sign of square root. This sign is the sign of square root. We write square root of 49. Obviously we write plus minus, because after that we will get that plus 7 and minus 7, two roots. But here this sign means this sign, it is known as radical sign or radix. It's called radical sign. This sign is known as radical or radix. And the number whose square root we are finding out, that is called radicand. Means here we are finding out the square root of 49. So this 49 is called radicand. I am marking with red color. This 49 is known as radicand. And when we are finding out square root, in fact not finding out square root for any non-negative real number, then we will get two roots. Now we are giving plus minus side because that I will explain later. But first I want to say you, then we get two root, positive root and one negative root. And this positive root is known as principal root. This positive root is known as principal root. Principal root. This positive root is known as principal root. So again I am saying from the beginning that when we are writing square root, then this sign we use, which is called radical or radix, or in very commonly square root of sign is also called, some people. And the number what we want to use, what we are using to find out the square root, that is called radicand. Means the number under the square root sign, radical sign, is called radicand. And after square root of any non-negative real number, we will get two roots, positive and negative, and this positive root is called principal root. Positive roots is known as principal root. Now the question is, why we are writing plus and minus sign both? Now we will explain this. Now see, we are writing the square root of 49 is equal to, when we are writing square root of 49, that means plus minus, and we are writing is equal to plus 7 or minus 7. But why we are writing plus and minus sign? For this explanation, we will use the multiplication rule. See, if we multiply plus 7 into plus 7, then we are getting 49, and plus into plus means that is also plus sign. Okay, but when we are multiplying minus 7 into minus 7, then we are getting 49, and as here is minus and here is minus, negative sign, so it will be plus. So ultimately plus 7 whole square is equal to 49. Again minus 7 whole square, that is equal to also 49. So for both the cases it is plus or minus, means it is positive or negative. The square, after squaring we are getting the same number 49. That's why when we are doing the square root of 49, we don't know for which the two. That's why when we are doing the square root of 49, we have to write plus and minus. That's why we are giving this sign plus minus. Plus minus square root of 49. For any non-negative real numbers, we are getting roots, and positive roots. Already I told you that positive roots is known as, counted as principal root of that number. And here see, it is non-negative. I am saying always non-negative real number. What will happen if it is negative number inside the square root? Inside the square root, if there is negative number, then we will get complex number. Under the radical sign, inside the radical sign, there is minus 49. We already worked with 49, but that was plus, and now it is minus 49. So what will happen in this case? If it is like that, then we can write minus 1 into 49. That means minus 1 into root over 49, and for that part we will get plus minus 7. For that part we will get plus minus 7. But what is for this part where the minus sign is included? We know that root over or radical square root of minus 1 or radical of minus 1 under the radical sign, inside the radical sign, we know square root of minus 1 or under radical, if there is minus 1, that is equal to I. So it will be I into plus minus 7. That means plus minus 7I, which is complex number. That's why for non-negative number we are getting two roots, and for negative numbers we are getting complex number. Finding out square root of 6 to 5 in the method of factorization. So first we will factorize the number 6 to 5, and to do this we will just follow the factorization rule, that it is divisible, clearly divisible by 5, and we are dividing it by 5, then we are getting 1 to 5, then again we are doing it and getting to 5, then again we are doing by 5 and we are getting 5. So instead of 6 to 5, we can write 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. Now when we will find out the square root of this, we will take each number as a pair. Each prime number as a pair. See here 4 5s are here, 4 times. So this is our one pair, and this is another pair. We have to make the pair for this, and right now after making the pair, when we are writing after making the pair means 2 5, instead of 2 5 I am writing here 5 here 1 times. Instead of 5 twice 5, I am writing here 5 just for 1 times. And when we are doing this, after pairing, when we are writing here, I am not using the radical sign. If here also I am writing the radical sign, means that is wrong. So after pairing the numbers, we won't use the radical sign. So this sign we will not give here at all when we are writing after pairing the numbers. So it will be plus minus 25. Now here I am writing another example with the number 3, 2, 4. With the number 3, 2, 4. To square root it, to find out the square root of this number, we will first factorize this number. So 3, 2, 4. If we factorize 3 to 4, look at here, it is an even number, so it is divisible by 2 as per the divisibility rule. So, and d2 is the prime number, so first we are using 2 and we are getting 6, 2. Again we will use 2 as a prime number because it is an even number. So here we are using 2 as another divisor because it is a even number and 2 is the prime number. Now it is divisible by 3 according to the divisibility rule. So we are using 3 and 3 is also prime number also, and then we are getting 3, 9 and again 3, 3. So instead of this number inside the radical, instead of this number inside the radical, we will write is equal to plus minus root over 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. 4 3's are here. So now we will make the pair of the number. Here is 1 2 and 2 2. So it can make one number. It can make another. So it can make a pair. It can make a pair and it can make a pair. So we will write plus minus, and already we make the pair. So we will take out this outside of the radical sign and then we will write 2 into 3 into 3. That means it is plus minus 18. 3 3 9 and 2 18. Okay. Here our number is 200. After this square root, finding out this square root, we will discuss about the square root of fraction. Now see, here as well as per our rule, we will factorize 200. So it is divisible by 2. It is divisible by 10 also, but 10 is not the prime number. That's why we are using 2. So it's giving us 100, and then again 2, then 50, then again 2, it's giving 25, and by 5 it's giving 5. So instead of 200, we are writing 2 into 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. Now we got a pair of 2, but here the 2 is single because there is no other 2. So we can't make the pair for these 2. Now here is 5 and 5, so we can make another pair of 5. So now from here we can write 2. From here, for 5 is in pair, we can write 5. But what's about these 2? What we will do about this single 2 inside the radical? We will keep this 2 just inside of the radical like this. And then it will be plus minus 10 root 2. Because if we remove the radical sign from these 2, then we have to use the division method to find out the square root, and then we will get the square root will be decimal. Now for the square root of fraction. So inside the radical sign, suppose here it is given that 324 by 625. I am just using the previous 2 example. it doesn't matter which example I'm showing. The fact is that we have to find out the square root of this fraction. The fraction is 3 to 4, that is in numerator, and 6 to 5, that is in denominator. So how we can do it? Now in this case we can split the radical sign for both of them, for numerator and for denominator. So we are just splitting the sign and we are writing here for numerator and here for denominator. And now the process is just like the before. We'll find out the factorization process is just like the before. We'll do the factorization of these two numbers separately. So for 3 to 4 we already know it. 2, then it will be this, then 15, then this is 3 and 3, 3. So we are writing here the plus minus square root of 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3 for the numerator, and 6 to 5 it will give us 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. So we are getting here plus minus one pair, next pair of for 3 and next pair for 3. So 2 into 3 into 3 by, this is one pair, this is another pair. So I am writing 5 into 5. So it will giving the result as 18 by 25 plus minus. But in the case of square root of fraction, sometimes just principal root is considered. And if the principal root is considered, that means this sign we will not use, this plus minus sign. This plus minus sign we won't use. Okay, so this is the square root for the fraction also. And with another example I am showing another. Suppose the number is 98 by 200 and we have to find out the square root of this number. Square root of this number. So just like before, we will do the same thing whatever we did. First we will split it into the radical in the numerator and denominator. So we will write square root of 98 and square root of 200, and after that again 98 factorization, even number, so it will go by 2 and it will give us 7. So now instead of 98 we are writing 2 into 7 into 7. Now for 200, it's very easy peasy. So 50 to 25 and 5, 5. So instead of 200 we can write 2 into 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. Okay. Now here for numerator we are getting one pair of 7. So we can write it outside of the radical sign because it's in a pair. But this 2 is the single 2 and it has no pair inside the radical sign. So we have to keep that 2 inside the radical sign. And here we are getting one pair of 2, one pair of 5. So we can write it outside of the radical sign. But still here also this 2 is a single. So we have to keep it inside the radical. And after that we are getting 7 root 2 and 10 root 2. But root 2 and root 2 we can cancel it. So we are cancelling root 2, then we are getting 7 by 10. So square root is here, 7 by 10. 7 by 10 because we cancel root 2. Though root 2 is not exactly square, but here on the numerator there is root 2 and denominator there is root 2. So root 2 is a common factor for both numerator and denominator. That's why we can cancel it. So this is the square root for in factorization method, and as well as the square root for fraction also, whole number and fraction for both the numbers. We can also do square root by division method also, and in my other video you already have seen also the square root by division method, and next we will come to the square root of decimal. But for today it's bye. Keep watching Maths Math Club. Subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.